Yo, what is going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the 2.0 changes because it was one of the stands which has gotten the most amount or a major amount of changes, as well as some others. I'll also make a video on White Album, Tusk, Soft and Wet, Killer Queen, and The Hand. So do expect those in no specific order. However, they will be the next stands to get a review, since they were the ones that got the most major changes besides like ones that I already did. So for the World Over Heaven, the first thing which you can see is the skill tree. And the skill tree is vastly different from the last one, now being like a massive just cross rather than before being kind of a Made in Heaven-esque skill tree. The 2.0 now costs 65 skill points total for time stop mastery, heal, knives, destructive power, and reality override, instead of the old 75, where literally the whole tool skill tree costed 75 points. Now it is 65, so much more economic as well. But especially there were some major aspects that changed. Of course, your moves are still the knife, time skip, the world, injury override on others, and then self-injury override, reality overriding punch, the smite, and then the passive, for which makes you basically bypass other people's defense. So if they have like 20% boxing defense, you can just do your full damage and ignore their defense. So the first thing which changed about 2.0 is that if we check, we hit this dummy a couple of times and we do a barrage, its barrage damage is now, or its normal damage is similar to KCR's, completely identical. The M1s will do 9.7 damage and the barrage will do 1.6 damage. However, the actual barrage damage on M1s do go through defense, so that is a kind of a similarity with KCR. So yeah, they're different there. But also, the next thing which I want to point out about 2.0 are the knives. So the knives, if we get this godly dummy, you throw the knives, and so one knife like leaked there for some reason. But if you saw, so they did 4 hits. Hold on, let me just replace the dummy here better. So let me replace it here so I can actually just show you guys. So here you go. Yep, we have the dummy, and if we hit him, so it does 4 times, 8.1 damage. So 3 of those 8.1s were for the knives themselves, and then one of them goes through block and just does like the damage AoE, which is pretty nice. The knives have a 11-second cooldown, which have been lowered to my knowledge, because I don't think they were like that. They were that low before, and the damage went previously from, I think it was an 8.9 to now an 8.1, because of course they rebalance destructive powers on every stand and everything. The next thing which I will point out, let me just activate these dummies, is actually the 2 heals. So these 2 heals have actually gotten a massive rework. They still function the exact same. However, the heal amount has been greatly buffed. Of course, yesterday, Paragon decided to nerf it because obviously it was way too broken and didn't make sense at all. He nerfed the heal. Before, it was a whopping 60 damage before yesterday, but after the update, it was 60 damage heal, and now it's 45. But in the OG heal, it was 36.6 when it was full maxed, and now it is 45 on others and yourself, and can also heal of any like injuries. Like for example, if you're missing an arm, if you're missing a leg, it's gonna heal it back. Then the next thing which I wanted to point out, so it is the Heaven Ascended Smite. So if you use the Heaven Ascended Smite, it is G keybind, and it does 30 damage. It is an AoE move which does 30 damage. It's always been in the game, especially with 2.0. However, this move has gotten a couple of changes. Like the first one is that the damage went from 35 to 30, so -5 damage, and the wind up has actually almost doubled, because before it was super fast. Now it has kind of a little bit extra wind up. Like it has a little bit more wind up at it. Oh, the volume, yeah. it has a little bit more volume added. So look, a bit more wind up. So look at this. So if I use it, like, look how slow it was. It was 1 and then kind of 0.5 seconds after that. So like 1.5 seconds wind up, which is double what it was before, because what it was before is you just press the button and it did wadida and then the smite. Like basically instantly, like right after 0.4 seconds. Now, if we just pay attention to it, boom. So you press it, wadida, waits like 0.5, and then it does. So it goes in front for 0.3 seconds, then 0.5 seconds after the wadida, and then it'll strike. So it'll be much more easy to cancel, especially because this move like was very hated by many people. So now it should hopefully be toned down. But the next thing about 2.0, which they changed, just like SPDW, is the time stop. So in time stop, your barrage is 50% longer. Your opponent gets ragdolled and gets a little bit of iframes after your time stop. And the time stop damage cap went from 50 to 40%. So if we check here, let's time stop. Oh, oh yeah, because I forgot to re-equip my stand. Let me cut to when that happened. As well, the reality overriding punch is a move where basically it debilitates your opponent, but it gives them kind of this effect where it makes them much bigger. But as well, on top of that, it does, so as you can see here, it does 20.1 damage, and if you remove an arm, wow, I hit 3 crits there. If you remove an arm, you'll do much more damage and defense bypass. This move, unlike the past, to which it did 24.2, now it does 20.1. But also, this move can now be blockable, but it's uncancelable. So before, the move was cancelable and unblockable, but parryable. Now it is only blockable and uncancelable. So this, it should be, oh, okay, this is the block dummy and this is the parry dummy. So if you go to the parry dummy, see, you can't parry that. The cooldown is still the same, but you can't parry that and it doesn't go through block. However, it does have a pretty nice stun if you do manage to land that. So just keep that in mind. So let's take, for example, this dummy. He's stunned, and we can confirm that into a smite and get free damage, which is actually very nice. Alright, so hopefully my TS cooldown works now. So let's time stop. Click, 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 click. You can obviously do the knives. All cooldowns are halved during time stops, as always. And then the barrage is like super, super long. But as you can see, the damage cap, still 40%. Now, why I didn't do 40% to this dummy is because he has like 1,000 HP. So I didn't do nearly enough. But you get the point, right? 40% damage cap instead of 50. The heal got reworked. The passive is the same. Destructive power slightly lowered. Heals nerfed, but buffed from the OG version of 2.0. And then nerfed from the version after the update, which was ludicrous, which you could just heal people for 60. Now it's a nice 45. And yeah, this is the TWOH showcase after the rebalances. Let me know if you guys want more of these videos, and catch y'all later. See you.